This is Coach Lee, and in this video, I'm going to share 5 things that your ex will do if they really love you. Take a quick second, click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And that includes videos on mindfulness, getting an ex back, relationships, marriage, and success in life. Sometimes we make it too complicated in terms of determining how the other person feels about us. And if we're feeling like we have to sit there and play Sherlock Holmes and cipher through clues to determine how this person feels, it's probably not a good match for you. It's probably not going to be a relationship that builds you up. Because if someone is going to make it that difficult to where you have to go through this with a fine-tooth comb to try to figure it out, then it's really not what you're seeking. And it's not what's going to be good for you in the long term. So I'm going to list 5 things that your ex will do if they love you and they want to get back together with you. The first one is pretty easy. They reach out. And a lot of you will agonize over this. You're using the no contact rule as you should be doing, and this person hasn't reached out to you yet. Now, does that mean they don't love you? No. But when they do reach out, it's a really strong indicator that they do. Because if this person loves you and they have come to that realization, as I talk about in other videos, if they have gotten to that point where they haven't heard from you, and so they realize you can stay away, they could lose you, and that hurts, and that gives them that feeling of loss because you are valuable to them, and they realize that they could be going into the future without you, and yet they want to be with you. When they get to that point, the only option for them, the next step, is to reach out, is to make a point of communication with you so they can at least see if you are open to getting back together. And if it's something they really want, they will do it. It's really that simple. The reason for that is that it's not a difficult thing unless there are hurdles there. And that's why I tell you to leave them alone, to try to give them the breakup as much as possible, because the more dramatic, the more annoying, the more stalkerish you are, then that creates a hurdle to them getting back together with you, because they think, if I do get back together with them and it doesn't work out and I have to break up with them again, I have to deal with all of their reaction, their negativity, their pestering, all of that. Is it fair for them to think that way? Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't really matter. The point is, that's probably how they're going to think. Your breakup response is going to either help you or it's going to hurt you. And a lot of you, I know, find my videos well after you've been broken up with and after you've made a lot of mistakes that you didn't know were mistakes. It's okay. It hasn't eliminated your chances. Just know that going forward, you want to make this easy as far as you're just going to disappear. You're not going to keep pestering them. You're going to give them the breakup. You made it easy for them to actually experience a real breakup. And that's where there are consequences. And that's what we want them to feel. We want the negative to be that you're not there. We don't want the negative to be that you are still there. So unless there are tremendous hurdles, your ex will reach out if they truly love you. Which means if it has been a long time, 3 months or way beyond that, the odds start decreasing that this person truly loves you, truly wants to get back together with you. Now, if you have been in contact with them during that time, or there has been other things that can happen that can throw that off, that can delay the stages they go through, and I will link to my video, Stages Your Ex Goes Through During No Contact. If there's something that delays them, then it can reach out a little bit past 3 months. But if it's been a long time, your odds are lower. Doesn't mean it's impossible, but the odds do start to go down because people do start to get used to things. And if your ex starts getting used to life without you, then they can slowly move on. The good news is, the sooner you start doing no contact after the breakup, the harder you make it for them to move on, because you make them face the negative of the breakup, which is that they are doing without you. They're having to remember you from the good parts of their memories. They're reflecting on this. Even if you think, well, they don't want to be with me. Why would they reflect? Why would they care? Well, they do. Even if they don't want to be with you, they're going to reflect on this. They're going to have dreams. They're going to wonder if they made the right decision, especially if you disappear and you don't chase and you just give them the breakup. So just know that if your ex reaches out, it's a really powerful sign that they love you and they want to be with you. If not, then the jury is still out. The number 2 thing I'm going to discuss if your ex really loves you is that they will offer an alternative if the two of you can't get together on their first pitch. And what I mean by that is if they say, hey, I want to see you, could we have coffee? And you're not able to, or they have to cancel, they will say, what about this day? And that's true if you are the one who bring it up. In other words, if they reach out to you and you two are talking, and maybe it's the second or third interaction you've had since the breakup and they have initiated it, because that's what's supposed to happen during no contact. When they start reaching out to you, you make sure they initiate for a time. And so if that's happening and you say, when are you free to get coffee? And they say Tuesday, and then they have to cancel. They will say, something came up. I can't do Tuesday. Could you do Wednesday? In other words, they won't just leave it open. They won't just say, oh, I can't. That's really a shame. And then not offer an alternative. If they don't, then it's not important enough to them. Because if they love you, they're not just going to not see you. They're going to offer another time. This is another one of those things. It's not difficult when you love someone. When you love someone, you want to be around them. It's that simple. And so if it's possible, you will make it happen. You'll move things around. You will prioritize that. You won't make excuses. And if something does come up that is insurmountable, you will make sure that you will be able to see them at the soonest available next time that works for you. And so if they don't do that, don't kid yourself. Their attraction, their motivation is not as high as it should be yet. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. But at the moment, it's not a good sign if they don't do that. If they don't offer you an alternative, if meeting face to face with you has some conflicts early on, they'll make another day. Number 3 is that your ex will go beyond clues. And this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. If your ex really loves you and wants to be with you, and they're thinking this breakup is a mistake, the burden is not on you to figure it out. They will not let it be. Your ex will not leave it to chance. They won't just hope you figure out these clues. They're not going to leave clues. They're going to make it as clear as they can. Now, they may ease into it. They may start with, how are you doing? How are things going? And a little small talk, just because they're not perfect communicators. Who is? They're not experts at this, and they're not real sure what your response is going to be. That's why as many times as I say it, it's still true. You don't ignore them until they say, hey, I want to get back together, because they're going to start small. And if you ignore them more than once or twice, sometimes just once for some people, they're going to assume you don't want to talk to them, it's over, and they're going to start trying to move on with their life. And then the burden's on you. Do you have to reach out? Now, that's not a position you want to be in, especially when you're trying to rebuild attraction and reattract this person. So just remember, if your ex really loves you, it's not going to be a big mystery to you. They are not going to leave it that way and just hope it happens that you figure it out. They don't want to take chances if they really love you. And they may love you and not be to the point that they're ready to get back together with you. But once those two things intersect, where their love for you, their attraction for you, and the point where they can no longer take being without you because they fear the loss, and that fear of loss overcomes whatever it is that's keeping them from reaching out to you at the moment, which a lot of times it's that they don't want to hurt you again, because the breakup didn't happen overnight. They didn't just wake up one day and say, I think I'll dump my girlfriend today, or I think I'll dump my boyfriend today. This happened from usually many weeks or months of them wrestling with this. And so they know that they didn't just come to this overnight. If it was a quick decision on the spur of the moment, it's pretty easy to admit that was a mistake. But if you feel like you've had a long time to consider and wrestle with this, and finally it was still what you felt like you needed to do, you're going to be slower to erase it or to say I was wrong and reconsider it. But that's where time is on your side, because when your ex can look back and see it's been a while, this has been nagging at me. I miss this person. I love this person. I'm worried I'm losing this person. And it's been a month and a half. It's been 2 months. They start to realize I've had enough time to think about this. This is real. And so whereas a lot of people worry and they're afraid of that time and they wonder if anything's actually happening, sometimes it's just the time stamp, being able to say it's been this day to this day. That's 60 days. That's whatever amount it is. And I still feel this way. That's powerful. And if they really love you, they're not just going to let you guess at it. They're going to reach out. They're going to let you know in some way. Now, some people don't find it as easy to just spell it out, but it's going to be pretty clear for you by their actions. They're going to be around you a lot more on purpose because they want to be. They're going to suggest a face-to-face. They're going to interact with you. It's not going to be confusing. It's going to be mostly clear. Now, they may not go 100% of the way. Hopefully they will. A lot of people do. They'll say, I messed up. I want to get back together. That's very common when an ex reaches that point of concern and loss and they reach out to you. They may start with small talk, but they will get to that point where they say, I'm reconsidering this. I think I want to get back together with you, or I want to get back together. Will you take me back? Those kinds of things. Some of them, because they don't know quite what your reaction is going to be, they will maybe go 80% of the way there by showing you that they love you, by acting like they're your boyfriend or acting like they're your girlfriend again. So you kind of have to look at what's obvious, look at their actions, not just their words, but it's not going to be a total mystery where it could go either way. If that's the case, they are not there yet as far as they're concerned, or they don't love you. Number 4 on the list, if your ex really loves you, they will miss intimacy with you. And I'm talking more about emotional intimacy, though physical intimacy will be missed as well, and intellectual, but it's going to be missing being part of your daily life, missing knowing how you think about what's going on in the world, how you feel about what's going on in the world, what you are experiencing, how people who are close to you, like your family, how they're doing. That's intimacy. And if they miss that, though it's not 100% guaranteed that if they miss that, they love you, it is a really strong indicator that they do. And let's just say that if they love you, they will certainly miss this. And you'll be able to tell because they will ask questions that show you they're wanting to know those things. They're wanting to be a part of your life and they're missing it. Before I get to thing number 5, take a quick second and click the subscribe button below so that you can be notified when I have more videos like this. And also get more information on my emergency breakup kit. I'll have a link to it in the description below. It's the culmination of my 2 decades in a relationship coaching service. So check out that link in the description below for more information on my emergency breakup kit. Number 5 on the list, if your ex really loves you, they will forgive you. Now, it doesn't mean that if they don't forgive you, that they never loved you, because sometimes people can do things that simply means the other person cannot be in a relationship with them. They just say, I love you, but I can't take it. I can't take the memory. I can't take that you are this way. I can't take that you would do this to me. And so I'm going to move on. But if they forgive you, you can know they really love you. Because when you forgive someone, it's because you want a relationship with them going forward and you are willing to overlook their imperfections because your love compels you to do that. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to love someone to forgive them. But if this person who broke up with you because you did something, if they're willing to forgive you and want to move forward with you, you can know that this person loves me because they are willing to overlook these things and they're willing to accept that I'm not a perfect person, and that's okay. They will love me in spite of my imperfections. And again, some people can love you and not forgive you. But if they do forgive you, you can know that they definitely love you. So if it's too much for your ex and they don't forgive you, it's a good sign you need to move on, or at least you need to make an effort. And again, as I've said in other videos, that does not mean that you just hop out and start dating other people right away. Take your time, take a break for yourself to heal, to reflect. Even if you feel pretty good about things, go ahead and take that 3 months to just recenter, recalibrate, to be around the people who do love you and won't break up with you, and to get your mind clear. And that way, if you do start dating other people, you don't have to say, yeah, I just got out of a 2-year relationship last week, but here I am having dinner with you. It's not the best way to start a potential new relationship. So I do encourage you to take that time just for yourself. If you like this video, please click that like button and or leave me a tip with a link to my tip jar in the description below if this video has been valuable to you. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.